to party, it's out of sight. Tonight we're gonna party like it's 2022. What's going on, everybody? Shane D, your best friend. It's your best friend here. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling happier. Other than I drive a really old car. It's a 1988 Lincoln Town Car. I love this car. It was my grandfather's. He was 97 when he passed away. This morning on my way to work, the entire exhaust and muffler just tore off right down the street. So it's back in the shop. It seems to spend a lot of time there, but now I am driven, by God. I will not let this car beat me. My whole goal is to keep this car on the road for my grandfather, World War II vet, trying to keep it on the road after his passing. He gave that to me. And by God, I'm going to do everything I can. I put a heater core in it. I have put in a new alternator. I put in an all-new brake system. I have spent thousands on this car just to keep it alive and on the road. And I will continue to do so, even if it drives me into absolute poverty and I have to live in that car. But how are you? Welcome to the first inaugural 2022 edition of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. Many stories to look at. Some have, during the week I go, oh, I should bookmark this one. And then I forget about it and I don't get to it. So I feel like there's stories that I should be talking about here that I'm not going to get to. But we've got plenty to talk about, so we're going to get into it. And I do have comments from episode 7. So let's get into it. If you see James Hetfield right in here going, shh, don't tell everybody how much money we have in our pockets. It's because Metallica hits 1.3 billion streams in 2021 Spotify streams. Now, I will tell you right now, before we get into the story, that I totally agree that the bands are not making nearly enough through streaming. I 100% acknowledge this and agree with this. But bands like Metallica are making a fat killing. Now, here's the thing that the reason why I like the streaming. If I go into a store and people may have arguments. I welcome arguments on this take that I have here. But if I go into a store and I buy And Justice for All from Metallica on CD, that's going to last me a lots of years, right? No matter how many times I play that CD or whatever, it's going to be there for me. And I've spent that $20 for that CD. So let's say that $20 I spent on And Justice for All, and that CD lasts me 10 years. And I listen to it a lot. Even though these guys are only getting a fraction of a penny, which is absolutely ridiculous and it's terrible, but they're getting a fraction of a penny per play, it's almost as if I took that CD and every single time I played a song off of it, they were getting another piece of change, or they were getting some change. So I can tell you right now, I've listened to Metallica quite a few times throughout the year, and each and every time they get that little bit of change. Now they should get a lot more, but bands that are just saying, this is horse shit, the streaming and stuff, yes, they should get paid more, but they are getting paid on those streaming sites for the music being played, right? Does that make any sense, or do I sound like a complete flaming asshole? Because I agree, the bands should be getting a lot more money. I don't know the rates or what, 5 cents a play or whatever. But suffice it to say, they're making a nice big hunk of change off those streams and off of all the sales and everything else that they do. Metallica hits 1.3 billion in 2021. Metallica's music was streamed 1.3 billion times on Spotify in 2021. This marks the third year in a row that the band's songs were played more than 1 billion times on the digital music service in a 12-month period. So 1.3 billion plays in 1 year's time. Somebody do the math down there. A fraction of a penny, a sixth of a penny, a tenth of a penny, or whatever that is, times 1.3 billion. Sure, it's not a whole hell of a lot of money, all things considered, as far as they should be getting more money. But the heavy metal legends social media revealed their latest streaming featured on Friday, December 31st, adding that with all the ups and downs of 2021, one thing remained consistent. You listened to a lot of Metallica on Spotify. Just when we thought you couldn't possibly listen to any more, you went above and proved us wrong, clocking in at 112.2 million hours of streaming. We were the top artist for 1 million of you. Honestly, you don't even know, we don't even know what to say, but a massive thank you to the Metallica family. Feels pretty appropriate right now. I mean, you know, I think that the band should get paid more, but I don't think bands should be so caca-poo-poo on the streaming sites, you know. And again, there's a lot of fans that don't like the streaming sites, which is fine too, and they like to have that CD and hold it in the hand. I used to love that. So congratulations to the biggest heavy metal band in the world. Moving on to this story here, Mike Buchanan brought this up in the Patreon, that there's a 10-second clip of Megadeth's new song, and I think it was, remember when we did those cameos? Dave Mustaine does the cameos, and I think he sent the little 10-second clip to somebody, because I saw the video yesterday, and he said, you might be the first person besides the family and the band that has heard this new clip. And then, of course, I guess he put out another clip of it or something, I don't know. One thing that I did want to say is I did read something too about Metallica and Megadeth doing some kind of collaboration in 2022. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But let's see. Megadeth guitarist and vocalist Dave Mustaine. Yeah. Cameo has been an infinite well of information regarding the band's upcoming album. And this new video is no different. Mustaine wishes Megadeth fan Gabe a Merry Christmas in the video, and then proceeds to play 20 very heavy seconds of a new single called Life in Hell. The new album is called The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. That's a great title. And, Megadeth with ... titles, right? Killing is my business, and business ... is good. Isn't that the way that went? Killing is my business ... and business is good. And the Dead will be there first with the new drummer, Dirk Verbeuren, ex-Soilwork. That's the guy that I think he's got a channel on YouTube. You can watch him playing all those songs. The album will also feature a mystery bassist in place of David Ellefson. I thought it was going to be White Lion Man. My favorite guy from he did a season of The Amazing Race. Any fans of reality TV like that? I watched the Ghost Hunters, Amazing Race, Survivor. I love all that stuff. I even watched the 2 seasons of Anderson Cooper did a show called The Mole that are on Netflix. You can watch those. But I like that kind of reality TV stuff. Ellefson was removed from the album, and his parts were re-recorded despite his request for that not to happen. Here's David. He's going to do this 59-second video. So Gabe's the luckiest guy in the world, isn't he?
Hey, Gabe, it's Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and I got a message that Octavia would love for me to wish you a Merry Christmas and play something special.
Octavia, that's a great yogurt. Octavia that Jamie Lee Curtis used to pimp.
I'm not going to play anything special, but I will play you something that's been recorded already, and that's special. How would you like to?
Gabe, I'm not gonna play anything special.
A little bit of the new album. This is song 2 from side 1. It's called Life in Hell.
I mean, that sounds tasty.
Here you go. A little special surprise for you, buddy.
How would you like to be Gabe, huh?
You're the first person in the outside world, outside of the studio and the band and my family, that's heard any music from the new record. So good for you, man. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, buddy. See you later.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah, that sounded pretty tasty. If if I'm just, that nice little nugget there, it kind of got me tapping the foot, kind of squeezing the buttocks, getting kind of pumped up. And it sounded like he was going to come in with a, hey, well, yeah, what is up, what is me? Instead of that, so I'm happy about that. Another David in the news here. David Lee Roth, right? After all those people said so many rude things about him, Gene Simmons and everything saying that. Looks like David Lee Roth's shows for New Year's Eve weekend in the Las Vegas have been canceled. Why, Dave? The first 2 shows of David Lee Roth's previously announced Las Vegas residency have been canceled, according to Metal Sludge. Is Metal Sludge the website that has the PP chart where they talk about, I can't remember if that was Metal Sludge. And they got the chart on there that talks about the ding-dongs of all the rock stars from the groupies. One of the musicians in Roth's backing band contracted COVID-19. There you go. Forcing the concert to be called off. Yeah, it is not good stuff. Spoiler alert, I had it, and it was god dang miserable. Roth's camp has issued the following statement. Due to unforeseen circumstances related to COVID, and out of an abundance of caution for those working and attending the show, the David Lee Roth performance scheduled for December 31st, 2021 and January 1st, 2022 have been canceled. Refunds will automatically be processed and ticket holders will be notified directly. Roth is still scheduled to perform at Mandalay Bay's House of Blues on January 5th, 7th, and 8th. That doesn't sound like enough time. Let's see, 5th, 7th, 8th, January 14th, 15th, and the 21st and 22nd. So these are the farewell shows that David Lee Roth is going to be doing. Let's get a little taste of David. Here's him down at the residency from 2020. Yeah, 2020. Oh, God. Look at that. The guy grabs his ding-dong a lot, man. He doesn't really grab at it, but he just kind of caresses and cradles it. A lot. Good pants, checkerboard. We did a video autopsy on David Lee Roth here, and he had that same kind of whip hanging down from his microphone. And he was whipping himself with it and grabbing his ling-long and all of that. But so David Lee Roth has canceled those shows. I want some too. Who else held the hanky like that? Oh, it was Meatloaf. Meatloaf always had a hanky in his hand, so if he got sweaty, he would dab himself down with it. And Meatloaf would sweat a lot. He was a morbidly obese man. I don't know, is Meatloaf still alive? I love that Bat Out of Hell album. It's just it's a great record. It's a great thematic, theater rock? Didn't they do a Bat Out of Hell kind of Broadway show or something? I want to say it was kind of a musical-esque kind of a situation. But David Lee Roth calling it adieu. And if I'm doing my mathematics correctly, they're going to need a fill-in guitar player, whoever had the COVID, because if you got a quarantine for the 10 or 14 days, that's going to cut into his 2022 January shows, right? I had no idea about this, but we've got Brett Michael here. He's reporting in live like Katie Chung from NBC News on the flooding. I did not know about flooding in Los Angeles, but we're going to get into this. Poison's Brett Michaels shares video of flooding in Los Angeles. Everyone stay safe. That's him. Every flood has its... Poison's frontman Brett Michaels, who resides in Southern California, has shared video of the flooding in and around Los Angeles this morning. When was this from? The 30th? In one of the clips, which can be seen below, Brett can be heard saying, "Yesterday we had a little rain and barely a dry creek bed with a trickle. Now it is a mass flood." I guess we don't need to read the quoted part, right? Because he's going to say that to us. Heavy rain in Los Angeles area has prompted mudslides, debris flows, and flooding, with downpours expected to taper off in the afternoon. Didn't I hear something about like they never get rain in Los Angeles or something like that? They're always kind of they need the water for the rain, the fires in the forests and stuff. A winter storm warning took effect at 1 a.m. Wednesday and will remain until 4 a.m. Friday in Los Angeles County, in the mountains excluding the Santa Monica Range. A weekly report. Michaels is passionate, humanitarian, and philanthropist. His Life Rocks Foundation supports organizations such as ADA National Network for Americans with Disability. That's sweet. That's good. JDRF, the world's largest nonprofit fundraiser for the type 1 diabetes. Yes, Bret Michaels has diabetes. Or as Wilford Brimley say, diabetes. St. Jude's Children Research. So he's doing a lot of good stuff here. Veteran and pet causes and many more. Michael most recently partnered with Arizona's Honor Health Foundation to create an auction benefiting frontline healthcare workers and built a hospital for room at St. Joseph Barriers Hospital for patients and their families during recovery, where Michaels underwent surgery for a life-threatening brain hemorrhage. Where was I at? I didn't know about this. And a heart operation. Bret's oldest daughter, Rain Elizabeth, is a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. Huh? Rain Elizabeth? Oh boy. Why do I feel like we need to look that up? We're not going to look that up. We need to look that up. Let's see Bret Michaels here, what he's got to say.
We had a little rain and barely a dry creek bed with a trickle. Now it is a mass flood. Half these people can't even get across or through their driveways. I'm going to go see if I can help them out. Everyone, if you're in LA County, stay safe.
It's like, holy shit, that's Bret Michaels. He's moving debris off our front yard. And he's going, every tree has its thorns. Mama, let me go to the flood. I did them bad boys flooding out of rock and roll. What? Yes, so stay safe there, Bret. BM. Bret, God, I'm very burpy and shit today. I don't know what that's all about. Stay safe out there. You know, you're looking a bit like a Jeffrey Dahmer there with those glasses on, but I know that you haven't eaten any humans. I know with all those good things that he's doing in the world and those foundations and benefits and all that, he is someone that you can guarantee is not eating human beings. So good luck to you, and stay safe out there. He's even wearing a little hat there that's got like a paw on it, so that's probably some kind of canine something or other that he's part of. So good for you. Here is a clap for the man. I want to turn this volume back down before it goes haywire. You don't want to play something else and have it. Striper, you Christian metal fans out there, Striper. Michael Sweet. By the way, I do have the world's greatest Striper tribute band video coming up, Video Autopsy, this coming week. And you can be the judge if you think they're the greatest Striper tribute band of all time. You just be the judge of that, sister, honey, child. Michael Sweet completes work on music for new Striper album. It may very well be our best yet. Is that possible? What's this guy's name, the bass player? I always get it wrong. But I know Robert Sweet, Michael Sweet, Oz Fox. And I always want to say that old bass was Alexander Gaines or Tim Gaines or something like that. Michael Sweet of Openly Christian Hard Rockers Striper. Openly Christian. They've been around for 30 years, man. And they sing about God. Openly Christian Hard Rock Striper has completed the songwriting process for the band's upcoming album, the follow-up to last year's Even the Devil Believes, will once again be recorded at Spirit House Recording Studios in Northampton, Massachusetts. Down there in Boston, right? Whitey Bulger. Early today, the 58-year-old guitarist vocalist posted the following update on his social medias. I am happy to say that all the songs, music for the new Striper album are complete. I started work on everything 2 weeks after my eye surgery. Jesus! Once I could lift my head, so it's taken a little longer than usual, 3 weeks, and also due to the holidays, of course. We will fine-tune them once we get together for rehearsal. Usually we rehearse at my house, and then we head to Spirit House to record. This time around, we'll be rehearsing at Spirit House, and we'll be working through a few songs at the time, and then tracking them once the band learns them. Very different, yet most likely very effective. Metallica does that. They go set up in the studio, and then they live there. And then they come up with things like Saint Anger. Now they got that big, we talked about that on one of those episodes. They did the Clue video game about Metallica's their jam place or whatever. They got a big HQ, Metallica HQ. And then you got Michael Sweet here asking and answering the question, what do the songs sound like? Killer, he continued. Lots of riffs, grooves, up-tempo and mid-tempo, and everything has a great feel to it. I've only sent music to the guys, so they haven't heard any melodies yet, but the melodies are strong and powerful. It's always a little strange talking about your own music, but I can say that I am really excited about the direction of this album. I know, wouldn't it be weird if they do a satanic record? We love Satan now, yes we do. Oh, Jesus. That keyboard turns off at a moment's notice on its own. Maybe it's a battery saver situation. It's always a little strange talking about your own music, but I can say that I'm really excited about the direction of this album. I know you will be too. We've tuned down to D. So the tuning makes it sound a little fatter and heavier. There are a few songs with the low E string dropped down another step to C. Wow, Jesus, they're going for Entombed. So those songs have a bit more meat and potatoes, and you're speaking my language. Meat and potatoes as well. There are a few ballads, but they're not your typical piano and acoustic ballads. They're heavy as well, and definitely guitar driven. Even though there have been obstacles along the way, this album really has shaped up to be an amazing piece of work. We're a long way out, but man, oh man, baby man, let me tell you, honey man, I can't wait for all of you to hear this. It may very well be our best record. Will it beat To Hell with the Devil? That was a huge record for them, and I own that. To Hell with the Devil. So there you have that. Stryper working on a new album. Get in those comments below and tell me what you think of Stryper and how excited are you for this new album. I will give you a little hint. Well, no, I won't give you a hint. I was going to give you the name of the tribute band, but I'm not going to even do that. You're just going to have to tune in and see what happens. Remember old John Corabi? Wasn't he the Hooligan Holidays? A lot of people lately been watching that Hooligan Holiday reaction that I did. Isn't that John Corabi that did the Hooligan Holiday? He was the singer for that. He's telling Ratt to check your egos at the door and get the classic lineup back together. That would be minus Robin Crosby, but everybody else, right? You'd have the drummer, Warren DeMartini, the plump little bass player fella who's still with Stephen Pearcy. I'm always a fan of that. When you can get as many of the members back together again and do tours, it's good for everybody, isn't it? I mean, it brings the money in. I mean, God, look at bands like Misfits. They were playing Madison Square Garden. You get together, you get the original dudes back together, or the best that you can do at the time, and you do it. What is he saying here? In a recent interview with Rock Show Critique, former Motley Crue singer. See, it would have answered my own damn questions. John Corabi spoke about his nearly decade-long stint, 2001 to 2008, as the rhythm guitarist in Ratt. Oh, he did? He said, as transcribed by blabbermouth.net, for the 8 years that I was in the band, even when Jizzy Pearl was there, so Jizzy just goes around to every band, right? Because he was singing for Love Hate, and then he was singing for the Jizzy Pearl Band, and then he was singing for Quiet Riot, and he was singing for Ratt, and now he's back with Quiet Riot, right? Was their signing for the group Ratt was just constantly bickering and fighting within. Now, in the beginning, it was just Warren DeMartini guitar and Bobby Blotzer drums. Warren would say, Bobby, you're playing the song too fast. And Bobby would go, you're playing them too slow. And they would go back and forth. And then meanwhile, our crew guy, Craig, and me, Robbie Crane, then bassist, and Jizzy would go get sandwiches, go home and make a bundt cake and literally shave, shit and shower, and then come back. And I don't think they were going home and making bundt cakes. That's not a quick and easy process. So he's making a silly here that they would fight for a long time. And Jizzy would go get a sandwich, go home and make a bundt cake and literally shave, shit and shower and then come back. And they'd still be arguing about the tempo of the song. Well, then 6 or 7 years later, Stephen Pearcy, Ratt singer, comes into the mix. And it was still the same thing. Without sounding derogatory, it was always just a pissing contest between the original members. So he's basically saying, Juan Crocier or whatever, is he going to, I'm seeing him down here saying something about Juan, but he seems like he's kind of the just sit back and be quiet guy. Karabi continued, we did the last tour with Steven. One of the last shows we did was at the House of Blues in LA, and we got offered a record deal. I flew back to Nashville, and I just had want to say a panic attack, but I was just sitting there going, oh shit, they want us to go somewhere for like 3 months and live together, write together, and record together a new album. And personally, I just went, these guys can't get through a fucking rehearsal. I'm out. And then they were shocked. They were like, dude, what gives, bro? We just got a record deal. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm still out. Whatever. Is Karabi afraid of success? Always say yes to success. I'm still out, whatever. And it turned out they just bickered and fought with each other through the whole damn thing. Mr. Karabi, here's where it said Juan Crucier. I wanted to see what that was saying. I love Warren separately. I love Bobby separately. I love Steven separately. Geez, I hope he doesn't. I even love Juan separately. Well, he's throwing that in with less love, I feel like. You know, usually if you're naming off people that you love, you're naming the ones you love the most first, right? So he really loves Warren. And he loves Bobby. Steven, I love you too. But Juan, I even love him. Right? I know all of those guys. But the original guys do their thing. Go out and play the songs that everybody grew up listening to and check your egos at the door, guys. It doesn't matter. It's not Steven alone. It's not Warren alone. It's not Bobby alone. It's not Juan alone. It's Ratt, baby. Ratt! Figure it out. Figure out how to make it work, just like Motley Crue. And go out and do your thing. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. Is he going to keep going on about how much he loves him? If you love him so damn much, why don't you marry him? I love those guys to death, but, I mean, look at them right now. Steven's like, all right, if we're going to do Ratt, let's do Ratt. Let's get the 4 guys in a room and make it happen. Let's write and record or do a record and get out and tour as Ratt. I've seen some interviews he's done recently, and they just shoot themselves in the foot all the time. And it's sad, but it just didn't want any part of that. Karabi seems like kind of a guy that's kind of a laid back. Look, he's got that kind of hippie vibe to him. You know, he's laid back and he's like, just check your egos at the door, man. I do some yoga. I do some meditation. I checked my ego many years ago. I left that at the top of Mount Fuji. I don't need it. So you guys, maybe he just has enough going on there that he doesn't need to be doing Ratt and everything else. He's just like, whatever. I'd be curious. Get in the comments below and tell me how much material on that Hooligan Holiday album did John Karabi do. I've heard a lot of people say It was not Motley Crue. It was a different band, but it was a better band. And they should have kept John Corabi and then the rest of the Motley Crue guys going and did that instead of reuniting or whatever, right? And we have one more story here. Eric Carr, look at that. His drum set. Drum set once owned by late Kiss drummer Eric Carr can now be yours. So once owned, does that mean that it was sold a long time ago and then some knucklehead's going to sell it all? How many drums is that? 4 bass drums. 6 toms, 2 floor toms. Does that come with the hi-hats and everything? Let's find out. A Ludwig 12-piece drum set made for and owned by late Kiss drummer, rest in peace, Eric Carr, is being sold via Reverb. The set comes with a certificate of authenticity from Eric Carr's estate. In Reverb listing, the seller of the Carr's kit writes, "While I was playing in a Kiss tribute band in 2005, my dream came true when I bought this kit from Paul Orofino, one of Eric's closest friends." So Paul went and sold it right away. Hey, I can make some cash on this. One who recorded Eric's audition demo tape for Kiss. I was reading some like an interview or something with Eric Carr just recently, and he talked about how terrible Kiss was. That when he went in there, he was ready to play. He was ready to play those songs. He did a song where he sang the vocals, but he said he was telling those guys, no, you don't play it here. You play this part. Nope, it's in this key. He was telling them what to do. And he said that he felt so damn good at coming out of that rehearsal that he pretty much knew that he had the job because these guys was like morons in there. And he was showing them what to do. Another thing that I learned too about Eric Carr is he wrote the song Little Caesar on the Hot in the Shade. I've never heard anything from that Hot in the Shade album other than if it was a bigger kind of a radio hit. But I didn't know that he wrote the guitar and everything else to the drums, the guitar, the bass, the everything, and sang it. But his lyrics were lackluster, so he let Gene Simmons write the lyrics. Let's see. One of Eric's closest friends and the one who recorded Eric's audio demo tape for Kiss, Paul, told me Eric gifted him this drum set. Gifted! And you decided to go ahead and sell it. Simmons pads, and I believe his chrome Chikara set, and Eric had it sent freight right after his video shoot for God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. Song by... They did a God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. Song by Kiss from the Los Angeles Paul recording studio in Millbrook, New York. Paul said he recorded albums by Blue Oyster Cult and other popular bands with some of the drum. Oh, is this the Orfino guy, somebody? That's interesting. Now I'm wondering who this all... Put it in the comments. I don't know who Paul Orfino is. Carr replaced Peter Criss in Kiss in 1980 and made his recording debut on the band's 1981 Music for the Elder. Yes. And then when that one was kind of a stinker, they put out Creatures of the Night. Is that the way that went? They had to do something heavier after they did that. I've grown to love the Elder a little bit over the years, but it's not that great. His final record was with Kiss was God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. I don't even know anything about this. His last public appearance before his death was the MTV Video Music Awards in 1991. Carr contributed his talent to the band's many gold and platinum albums during his tenure and can be heard on the band's many hit songs from the 1980s, including Lick It Up, Heaven's on Fire, Crazy Nights, Oh, No Tears Are Falling, and Forever, to name a few. In addition to his musical contributions, Carr was equally known for his inviting personality, genuine love for his fans. I read that too, that he would write to the fans. He would spend a lot of time out there at live shows and everything, shaking hands and autographs. However, the time he joined the band to this very day, Carr remains one of the most beloved members of the Kiss family. Carr died on November 24th, 1991 of a rare heart cancer. He was 41. So I am now older than him. Than he was. Yes, indeed. Is there any more about the drum set? I don't see anything else. I would like to know if all the hardware and everything comes with it. I don't know why you'd want to get rid of that. There's some images back there on the by the mantle, the fireplace there, of him in front of that drum set. I remember seeing his drum solos live. I absolutely loved it. I mean, he was just surrounded by drums and you could not see him whatsoever, just banging away. And he was good. He did a damn good job in Kiss, and I will say that. It's time, everybody, to get into some comments, and then we're going to wrap this up. And it looks like we got some here. AGDNCA. Shane, as sick as you were, imagine how much worse it would have been if you hadn't been vaccinated. I'm so glad you made it through okay. After all, I wouldn't want to lose my best friend, right? You're damn straight about that. You are damn right. I know several people that were unvaccinated and they ended up in the hospital. One had pneumonia. Another one was in the ICU. And I am absolutely convinced that if I didn't get those, this isn't a promotion or I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you, I feel like if I didn't have, there was about 4 hours there where I was waiting for some kind of a respiratory thing to happen. It didn't. I was happy. I was thankful for that. But I feel like if I had not, and I'm lazy, I'm really lazy. It could have not even been I don't want to get the vaccines. It's just, oh yeah, I know I got to get over there. I got to get it done. But when this shit kicked off, I said, I'm going to go do it. I'm just going to go get them. And I feel like I would have ended up in the hospital had I not got them. I don't know if that's the case or not, but thank you, my dear friend. Thank you. First off, here's Michael Buchanan. He was the one that's in the Patreon that came in with the Megadeth 20-second taste bit. First off, glad you're getting better. I had the big C last year, had one super cold and couldn't smell anything. My son, he had a stuffed up nose and stuff and couldn't taste or smell anything. That's all he got. They said that it attacks fat people a lot worse. Old people, babies, and fat people. And I'm fat. And getting old. So, that makes sense. Now let's talk about the awful Pantera would have been with Sammy Hagar on vocal, unless they decided to continue on with their hair metal style they famously refused to talk about. Yes, Sammy Hagar would have kicked it great with those first 2 or 3 records from Pantera when they were hair metal. But I think that's all fibbery. I think Sammy Hagar was trying to, get a fun nugget out of a fun fact, and I don't think that ever happened. No one, no one remembers it happening. No managers and people, no, we don't remember anything like that. So, Todd Boyle, best wishes of full recovery. Thank you, Todd Boyle, good man down there. 123612100. Is that like a barcode or something? That looks like Christopher's. He's looked like the little image there is 123612100 comments quite a bit, but that looks like that old Hammer guy, Christopher. Whatever. He used to play the Hammer films. He used to play Dracula all the time. Mike Borden also played in the band Easy Street with Cliff Burton and Jim Martin. Wow. Also, Cliff and Mike were friends back in high school, so my guess is the family gave Borden the shirt since they were good friends. Yeah, I knew that because Jim Martin was in a band with Cliff Burton. I didn't know Mike Borden was in it, but that would explain why Mike Borden and Jim Martin were in the earliest versions of Faith No More. And yeah, and you can see a video where Jim Martin was the guitar player. He's not in Faith No More anymore. He hasn't been for years. I think the last album he was on was Angel Dust. But he had the big curly black hair, and he always wore those round glasses, that colored round glasses, and the beard and the mustache and everything. And he looked like he fit with a band that Cliff Burton would be in, because Cliff Burton always dressed in like a Levi jacket and kind of bell-bottom-esque pants and stuff like that. So there is some video online you can look up of Cliff Burton and Jim Martin in high school. It's just a little clip, but you can find it. White Bread, our buddy White Bread. I think Pantera's manager acted on his own without asking the brothers. Yes, I bet. If it actually happened, I don't think Sammy would have enjoyed singing those songs. Yeah, he likes singing songs about, you know, the Blue Angels, the airplane troupe that does tricks. He likes doing that. Aliens and guys that fly planes and love. He likes singing songs about love. One of the greatest little clips you can see of David Lee Roth on Joe Rogan is he's saying, he's describing the difference between Sammy Hagar and him. And he's like, he's singing, he's talking about, you know, he says, Sammy Hagar wants love. And he goes, you know what? I ain't talking about love. And he does all these little play on, you know, when I go running with the devil, stuff like that. It's pretty fun. You can find that clip on as well. Let's see here. But they couldn't have brought Cemetery Gates back in the set list. Yeah, that still surprises me that Phil Anselmo can hit those high notes like that. I don't think he can do it anymore. But yeah, he could hit some high notes. I plan on attending the Bay Strikes Back shows when they come to my town. I am too. Here's a fun little fact for you. I bought tickets to go see Gojira for me and my friend. It was Gojira, Knocked Loose, and who else? Oh, Alien Weaponry. Great show. Good show. I bought the tickets for that. In the following month or two, it was going to be the Bay Strikes Back tour. And I was like, you're buying tickets for that. And then they cancel it and move it to May of 2022. So White Bread, I am planning to go to the Bay Strikes Back tour as well. That's going to have Exodus, Testament, Death Angel. I want to say they added Black Dahlia Murder and somebody else. I'm a little nervous about it. Yeah, when they come to my town, and I'm a little nervous about it. All the shows I've seen lately have been outside. I'm vaxxed and will mask up. Glad you're better. Here's the situation that happened when I believe that I got the COVID. It was at Opeth, Mastodon, Opeth, and I think that's all there was. Oh no, there was Zeal and Ardor. I think they were canceled off the show, or they played extremely early or whatever, but you had to show your vaccine card to get in. You had to show them proof that you had your shots. This is the only time I've taken the mask off because I'm a paranoid freakoid nerd. So I can go into places and I will be the only person in the convenience store with a mask on, in the grocery store with a mask on, or whatever. I took it off because I wanted to drink beer and have whiskey, a couple shots of tequila. And that's when I think that I got it, because after you loosen up, you go, everyone got their stuff. It's okay. So, you know, it is what it is. So I would say if you're really, 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 really concerned about it, put a mask on and don't take it off. Or, you know, I refuse to not go to shows. Come on, goddammit. I got to go to see some rock concerts and stuff. I got my tickets for Volbeat and Ghost coming up, and now I'm jittery about that. So I feel you, White Bread. I feel your nervousness about that stuff. But as far as I can tell, it looks like things are starting to get better. This Omicron, or whatever the hell they want to call it, is it's less threatening. And from what I've read, and I haven't read all the damn studies and all that shit, I'm an idiot, okay? I'm a moron. But what I can gather is that it's starting to turn into more of a kind of a cold and a flu, and not as many people are ending up in hospitals and all that kinds of stuff. So maybe this stuff goes away, and it's one of them. Oh, it's the season. Make sure you go get your shots. You know, your mother, your grand nanny or whatever, she's always telling you, now, white bread, go down and get your shot. Make sure you get your flu shot. You know, they're always doing that. Someone's always up in your ear about something that you need to do. Rodzilla rocks. Get better, Brother Shane. I love you guys. You're just wonderful. I debated on even mentioning it because you don't want to get everyone's, sending you birthday card or get well soon stuff and everything else. But then I kind of started to think maybe it's kind of, I should at least say, talk about it and say, I got the damn shit and it was miserable. AGD in CA in California, AGD in Cali or Canada. He's back again with a maybe Vinnie Paul didn't recall it because Sammy Hagar made it up. Is that a possibility? I think it's an absolute possibility. I did hear a great story. This is a fun it's about Sammy Hagar and the Cabo Wabo and everything else, but I can't remember who was telling the story, but it was someone famous. And it was on one of them Jamie Josta podcasts or something, and I can't remember who it was. But he was talking about how when you go down to that Cabo Wabo, Sammy Hagar does it every year. You go down there and it's a free jam. You can get up, you can get off, you can do whatever. And Crosby or Nash, one of the Crosby the big guy, not the guy with the Gallagher looking guy with the long hair, but the other main guy, he was there. Stills, maybe he's Steels. And they were doing a freestyle jam, and here comes old Lars Ulrich. He popped up behind the drum set, and he starts tapping away with them. And they couldn't get the rhythm together. The song that they were doing, it was some cover of something. Couldn't get the rhythm together. And then the guy from Crosby, Stills, and Nash said, someone get back there and replace that guy on the drums. And I thought that was amazing. He said, we had to literally put a pause in the song. And he said, Lars Ulrich just kind of jumped off the seat and shot off into the night because he was like outed. Get someone back there that can play. And then finally here, Steve Wellborn. They sold Gene and Paul the makeup. Oh, yes. Okay. So he's talking about when we were talking about Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, what happened where Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer could put on the makeup. They sold it to Gene and Paul. That makes sense. They went, I'm out of here. I'm not going to wear that stuff anymore. You can have it. Just, I'd be damn curious as to how much they paid them for it. I do remember a story about Kiss. They and I don't know how true this is. This might be one of them folklore stories, but The Simpsons. They really, really, really wanted to do Kiss on The Simpsons, and Gene and Paul wanted to own the copyrighted characters of Kiss looking like Simpsons characters. And there was some kind of a hold off, and we're not going to do that, and no, and everything else for the longest time. And then I believe they did Family Guy. Kiss was on Family Guy, and then they finally were on an episode of The Simpsons. But the way I heard it was that they wanted them on The Simpsons way, way, way earlier. But they wanted to own the rights to the makeup. It's it's business 101. You get the characters from The Simpsons, biggest animated TV show in the history of television. And they create 4 characters that are Kiss with the makeup on that are looking like Simpsons characters. And you own those characters. You got a whole new line of merchandise you can put that shit on. Kiss Simpsons. And then someone goes, I'm going to go spend $85 on a t-shirt of Kiss looking like the Simpsons. But what say you? Welcome to 2022. Are you going to make this the greatest year of your life? Are you going to work on your fat bits? Are you going to work on your education? Are you going to work on your physique and build it up so you got big muscles? Are you going to go back to school? Are you going to start a rock band? Are you going to What are you going to do? Become a magician? What are your plans for 2022? You can put them in the comments as well. And of course, I will read those on the next episode of Jive Talkin with Shane D. So that's all I got for this. Gonna swing in, play you a little bit here. Not that. Ooh, that's nice. Jive Talkin with Shane D. 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 Swinging in, loving you so much. Stay good, stay well, be safe, be good, be kind, be courteous, be the commander, the high commander of your life. Breathe deep, do a little meditation, do a nice long walk, do some weight lifting, and be good and well and courteous and kind to all the people that you can in your life. Even when they go, why is he being so nice to me? Jesus, God. Swinging it. Jive Talkin with Shane. Jive Talkin with Shane. Jive Talkin with Shane. Jive Talkin.